Hi everybody, welcome. Tammy from Tammy's Homesteading Crafts. Today we're in the kitchen. It's going to be a preserving video today. I'm going to show you guys what I do with all those peppers that I pull out of the garden just before we have a freeze. Now it hasn't been cold enough to have a freeze yet. But I did do a big pull of peppers out of the garden the other day because I had quite a few ready, and we had quite a big windstorm and broke some of the peppers, so that I was just harvesting what I could. So I'm going to show you what I do with those. If that is something that interests you, stick around. Okay, so before we get started, I just want to take a moment to welcome you all to my YouTube channel. I appreciate you stopping by. I really appreciate all the new subscribers that I have over the last couple of months, gradually growing my channel, and I really appreciate it. For those of you who have not subscribed, please consider doing so. It does benefit me by you subscribing to my YouTube channel. Also, please hit the notifications and the thumbs up button. The notifications will allow you to get notified when I put out a new video, and the thumbs up just gives YouTube a chance to put me into the algorithm for more people to watch my videos. So thank you all, and let's get into the video. Well, this is going to be a little bit of a short video. I just wanted to show you guys what I do with all those peppers and how I preserve them so that I don't throw away all of the peppers that are in the garden at the end of the season, and show you about the size that you can pick them so that you'll still get a good tasty pepper. Okay, so let's start. So here are all the peppers that I have that I got out of the garden, quite a few. One of the branches on my pepper, a couple of the branches has been windy enough, a couple of the branches broke, and I had to pull out all the peppers. So some of the green ones have just not turned yellow, but they're still pretty sweet. I will go through the branch, and pick everything that is about this size and bigger off, whether they're green or yellow or orange or whatever. I will pick them off. Anything smaller than this usually will end up getting still be a little bit bitter, and it's really not worth my time to do. Now, as far as the green peppers, I'll usually try to get them this size if I can. This one's a little bit smaller, but it's still bigger than normal. You really want them to be about 3 inches long and a decent diameter around when you're picking them. You know, you can cut them and you can taste them and see if they're bitter. If they're really bitter, they're going to make everything else bitter, so I wouldn't put them in with the rest of your peppers, just because, you know, you might not want a really bitter pepper. But one of the things I didn't realize, I knew peppers, most all vegetables have a male and female, and to tell the difference between a male and female pepper, a male pepper has 3 bumps on the bottom and a female has 4. So that is how you can tell the difference between your males and your female peppers. Now, I don't know which one is sweeter and which one is a bitter pepper. I didn't remember reading that, but that's how you tell your peppers between male and female. And the other thing that I use, I do my onions, and if you have a ability to get local onions from a farmer's market or wherever, by all means do that. They're better than you can get at the store, but our farmer's market, our stand here, didn't have any more onions, or not enough of what I needed, so I just went to the store and purchased their sweet onions so that I can cut these up and get them into Ziploc bags. So I will take onions and peppers and chop them up and put them into Ziploc bags so that I have them in the freezer, preserved for cooking and using for whatever I want to for the winter. The thing that I use is called the Vidalia Chop Wizard, a really nice little chopper. It's got 2 blades. It's got this wide one, and then it also has this small one. Let me get my hand. This small one here. There we go. I like to use this small one for my peppers because we don't like the big chunks of peppers in things, and then I will use this bigger one for the onions. And the blades are right here on top, and there's actually something stuck into that. But you don't want to push down on this here. because that's where the knives are actually at. The other side isn't sharp, but this side here is really sharp. It's just a bunch of little knives that you push your thing through. So you'll put it on there and you just push it through. Okay, so I will show you. All I do is usually just clean all my peppers, core them, and get them all out, and then I start chopping them up. Same with the onions. I will cut the ends off the onions and peel the skin off of them. So I'll take the ends off, and then I'll peel the skin off of them and cut them in half, and then I just put them through the chopper. But I'll show you how I put them through the chopper and the size that I get. Just to give you guys a little bit of an idea for picking onions, I know when you go to the store, a lot of times they will have all of the yellow or white onions labeled as sweet onions, and they are not always sweet. The way to tell a sweeter onion is the onion is going to be kind of flat and squatty. This is supposed to be one of your sweet Vidalia or a sweet variety onion. This one here that is round, and they all came in the same bag. This one that is round is really not considered a sweet onion. Now, it might not be really strong, but it has a chance of being stronger. So you want to look for these onions that are a little squattier. Those are more of your sweet onion instead of, a round one. So this one is kind of round, kind of squatty. This one probably, it could be a sweet onion and it might not be. But yeah, that's what you want to look for when you're looking for onions. Look for more of them that are the squatter variety instead of more round. Squatter should be sweeter. Okay, so now that I have most of my onions cut, I just want to make sure I have enough onion to pepper consistency. So I don't want to cut too many onion and have way too many onions and not enough peppers in the bags. But so now that I have those cut, I wanted to show you how to use this little contraption here that I have. Usually I will take my onion. Now this will be the top, and then this is your bottom of your onion. I will cut it in half, like I did this one here, and then I just stick it face down. The cut side I put down. So I got the cut side down there, and then you just push your thing over and it goes right through. Sometimes it's a little big and it doesn't all go through, it pushes it, but it'll push it right through. So I'll show you that again. Let's see if I can do it without moving. It's a little hard with one hand. Sometimes it's a little stiff, but that's how I do. So I'll cut up all my peppers. There is actually, as you can see, it's milliliters on this side, but there is cups on the other side, and it allows me to know how many cups I'm doing per container. So that gives me, I usually like to do 4 cups of peppers to 2 cups, 4 cups of onions to 2 cups of peppers is my consistency, because we really like the flavor of onion better than pepper, but we do like peppers and onions mixed together. So I will get this done and I will put it in into the bowl, and then I will show you how I do the peppers. cut these all and then I can show you guys exactly how quick it is to use this little chop wizard. I love it. I have found it on YouTube and I actually love using it. Sometimes it gets stuck though. Stuff stuck up in there. And again, don't ever put your hands on the blades. Those are very sharp. Okay, so that was quick work of all of the onions that I did. Now I'm going to change the blade to the smaller one and we will do all of our peppers. And I will get them ready to go and I'll show you how I do those. Now when I prepare my green peppers, I will cut them into quarters. When I do the little orange peppers, I'll just cut the tops of them off, cut them in half, and then just take out my seed pod in the center. And that's all I do on those. I don't have to cut them into any smaller. Sometimes they're too long to go on sideways on my thing. If they're too long, then I'll cut them in half. But usually that's the length I keep them. So yeah, all I'll do is just get these ready to go real quick. Okay, it's this, whoa, I hit the camera. The same thing with the peppers as I do with the onions. I'm just going to stick them on the little blade and push through. This, they get a little harder because it's a smaller blade to go through. Sometimes I really need to push on this one to get these to go through. These take, you hear that little snap when it does. Sometimes they go through pretty easy, sometimes they don't. But that's all I do is just stick them on there at an angle and then 2 hands push it through. And I will time lapse this so that you guys don't have to watch all of it. But that's how I do my peppers. And like I said, if they're too long and they don't fit on the blade, I will cut them and get smaller pieces. So now that we have all of our peppers cut, as you can see, these are quite a bit smaller in chunks than the onions were. And then here are the onions. But the reason I do them the way I do is because if you're putting the onion down with the slices, it goes through and it makes a decent size piece of onion that you have when you are cutting things up. They're pretty uniformed. A lot of people will cut thick slices off and put the whole slice down and cut it. It does the same thing. This just is less cutting for me. I can just cut it in half, put it the cut side down, and just push it through, and it they separate into small little pieces. So that's what I do now. I'll mix the two together and we will see what we got. So for our mixture, that's a little bit too much pepper to onions, so I'm going to cut up the rest of the onions that I had. I had 9 pounds of onions, and I put 6 in the sink to get ready to cut. I didn't cut all 6 of them, all 6 pounds of them. So I'll finish cutting the rest of those and add them to that, and that should be the about the consistency that we really like for peppers and onions. Just because we like more onion than pepper, I want to make sure that I have a lot of onions, because once this starts to, it cooks down, the peppers are really small already, and it doesn't take them long to cook down. And the onions, with them being the size that they are, and that onions will go translucent when you cook them, I like to have a few more onions so that we actually have onion in there. And that's why I do the onions on the bigger chop than the smaller chop, because once they cook down, they will go translucent and you won't really see them. And if you like to have bites of onion in your food, it's nice to have that. So I will get on to the rest of the onions, and then I will show you what it looks like before I bag it. So that's a better consistency for what we like. Now all I'm going to do is take a measuring cup and just start putting it into my Ziploc bag. I have this cool little holder that holds my Ziploc bags open, and I can scoop up my peppers and onions and pour them in my Ziploc bag. And it holds it open so that I can get a good, sorry, I probably should have this on the tripod. And when it's full, I can just take my bag off, move it down, I lay it flat, and then just put another bag on there. And that's all I do. I don't blanch them. I don't do anything else with them. I just do that and freeze them. When they're when they thaw, they are pretty juicy. And a lot of times I will just dump all of most of the liquid out of them and go from there. If I need the liquid, I will add it to it. But if I don't want all that water that's in the vegetables, then I will just throw it out, or I'll drain it down the drain. But if I'm making soup, I'll use it as part of like the vegetable stock. But this, I don't know where my mother-in-law got me this little thing. I have no idea where she found it. It's kind of nice to hold a Ziploc bag open when you're trying to put stuff in Ziploc bags all by yourself. I still make a mess, but you know, that's cleanable. It's when you're trying to hold that open and get everything in there, it just doesn't always work. So yeah, I'll squeeze most of the air out of the bags when I do them. They're kind of just, they're not really sealed 100% right now. And then I'll just label what year I put them in, because I can see that they are peppers and onions. I don't need to write what they are. I'll just put the year of what peppers and onions I did. I try to use them up each year if I can. usually don't measure how much I put in each bag. I just fill it till it's full and then squeeze the air out of it and fill another one. So that is how I do my peppers and onions, and that is an easy way to get rid of a lot of peppers that you have in your garden once it's ready to freeze. A lot of people do, and they will take their peppers and they'll make a whole bunch of stuffed peppers, and you can absolutely do that as well. We just are not a stuffed pepper family, so this is the way that I do it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Well guys, that is it for today's video. I said it was going to be a short one. I hope this allows you to figure out how to preserve some of the peppers that you have. Peppers are one of those vegetables that will grow and produce even into late October. We're in the second week of October here, and my pepper plants are still loaded. We've had some cold weather, but we have not gotten cold enough to have a frost. As soon as we are, I will go out the night before we're gonna have a frost, and I will pull all of my peppers so that they do not get frozen and have a deep frost on them. But yeah, pepper plants will stay in the garden for quite a while, and you'll still be able to get some peppers. They'll grow slow, but they'll still produce peppers. So yeah, that's one of those plants that you can keep a little bit longer than everything else. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you might have learned something. Thanks, have a good day, bye.